Welcome to today's episode of Monkey Learns Money, where we talk about personal finance, investing, and how to become a millionaire. In today's episode, I will be talking to you about a new central bank's digital currency. Since coronavirus started, there has been more and more talks about central banks issuing digital currency. It is a little bit different to Bitcoin. This one will actually be controlled by the central bank, but it will not have any form of physical money. In other words, it is not physical cash. So the Bank for International Settlements and 7 central banks published a report laying out some key requirements for central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. They recommend that the digital currency complement, but not replace, cash and other forms of legal tender, and that they do not harm monetary and financial stability. Facebook last year already had their own digital currency. I have not heard much about it, so I'm guessing the Facebook currency didn't do that well. But in China, apparently the central bank is already partnering with a handful of private sector companies to trial an electronic currency it's been working on for years. It's worth emphasizing that these central banks are not taking a stance yet on whether they and other institutions should issue digital currencies. They are basically looking into whether it's feasible to create virtual currencies. To be honest, guys, I don't really understand why we even bother issuing digital currency. I mean, what's wrong with cash and having a bank account? Apparently, if we have digital currency, we can enhance financial inclusion by onboarding people without access to a bank account. But I mean, almost everybody in the world has a bank account. If not, it's not too hard to create one, right? So I don't really get what's the big deal here. I think there's a bit of a hidden agenda behind the scene. So if you have a digital currency issued by a central bank, the central bank will actually be able to track how you spend the currency, so they can see where the money has gone. It can make some things easier for the government. For example, in the United States, there are a lot of coronavirus stimulus, and there is a plan for the Federal Reserve there to issue the stimulus check by opening a bank account under your name and depositing the digital currency into the bank account that they open for you. And once the money is there, they will be able to limit what you can buy with the money. So you cannot use it to buy alcohol, for example, but you can use it to buy groceries in the supermarket. They can also add a lot of fancy things like an expiry date. So maybe your currency will expire after a certain amount of time not being used, maybe. There are some speculations, especially in China, that the digital currency can only be used in certain areas. For example, if you are from a poor area and you go to Shanghai, which is an expensive city, apparently you cannot use the digital currency in Shanghai because you're not worthy of living in Shanghai. So you can only use it in the suburb that you actually normally live in. And apparently if you do something bad, if you break the law, then the government can do something with the currency that you have. But anyway, that's China. It probably will not happen in the United States. In Australia, the Reserve Bank here has said that they do not consider it is necessary for Australia to have a digital currency. You may wonder, how is a digital currency different from your bank account having a positive balance? This is the difference, guys. With a digital currency, it's the central bank, the Reserve Bank, or the Federal Reserve who issues the currency. So it is the central bank who owes you money. In other words, you will definitely be able to use the money to buy what you want. Whereas if it is a bank account, it is your bank, a private organization, who issues the money. So if the bank goes bankrupt, it's possible, although not very likely, it's possible for you to lose the money that you have. Whereas with a digital currency, you essentially cannot lose the money that you have because it is issued by the government, and the government normally will be able to print more money if they do not have enough money. Let me know what you think, guys. Do you think it's necessary for the United States to have a digital currency? I would love to hear and learn from you guys.